There's lots of business in lots of business metabolism, but because of the 30-year-old embargo from the United States, there's no American chains, no obvious American companies, and no international banking. I couldn't use my credit card. People, it's a cash society. People buy cars with suitcases full of cash there. So there's this kind of, they just live with it. It's the American embargo. You know, life, you just develop it. There's a lot of countries that have been living with American embargoes, and life goes on. And if you want to see the elite, you go into this rich area, you pay to get into a fancy park, and you hang out with people who have seen it all. Even here, public display of affection was pretty muted. Seeing people holding hands was about it. That was really quite racy. And it was fun to talk to these people. By the way, everybody who's educated, I found, spoke some English. There was not much of a language barrier for me there. Not because they're talking to Americans a lot, but it's just what you learn to talk with people from other countries. The country is dry. There's no alcohol. I thought, well, sure, but I mean, in the rooftop garden of my Intercontinental Hotel in Tehran, I can get a beer. Nope, nothing, okay? So you have something that feels like a beer and looks like a beer and tastes like a beer. It's a malt beverage, and the local Budweiser guys have that, and they drink it all the time, but it's non-alcoholic beer. As I mentioned, my impression was a very strict and effective legislation of morality. You just don't take drugs, you don't have easy sex, you don't dress this way, and that was the impression a visitor gets. Everybody who knows Iran or lives in Iran tells me behind in domestic quarters, if you know what phone number to call, you can get anything delivered to your door, okay? I didn't see any indication of hard drugs except for one little vial of something that I saw in a garden there, but I know that goes on, and it's just sort of there's a parallel world that is beyond my casual view. The Shah, kind of his ghost is there. You just feel everything that used to be called the Shah Square or the Shah Mosque is now called Khomeini Square and Khomeini Mosque. And of course, the Shah used to be on all the money, now Khomeini is on all the money. So it's just one radical swing of the pendulum from the far-right dictator to the far fundamentalist Muslim dictator, basically. The Shah's palaces are now museums, and they're showcases to remind the young people what a horrible dictator their parents grew up under. If we were living under the Shah, we'd have his palaces open and kids would go there on field trips also. When you go to the Shah's place, all the kids dress up from school and go there. They learn the whole propaganda line that this evil man was put in here by the United States and he kept us down and we had to live this horrible decadent way because they wanted our oil and they wanted to make us all like Christians or all like Jews instead of like good Muslims like we want to be. I would imagine that's what gets drilled into their heads, and that's a very interesting problem that we need to reckon with. Why are they telling their kids this? Because a lot of it is understandable, if not true, that they feel this way.